The once dominant Eagles are now in danger of becoming a wild card team after their loss to the Cardinals on Sunday at home. Here's Nick Sirianni and Matt Patricia and the defense, A.J. Brown's frustration with the offense and anything else going wrong in Philadelphia.
Every decision that I make is with the thought of the team first and what is best for the team. The adjustments that I made a couple weeks ago were in attempts to do what was best for the team, and I still believe that. I'm always going to look at myself first. Obviously, when you have a dynamic playmaker like AJ, he's going to want to change the game at all times, and he's capable of doing that at all times. And so again, I don't want to speak for him, but obviously we're all frustrated.
Answering questions like that feels more like an end of the season press conference, but the Eagles are in the playoffs right now. What confidence do we have in them getting their business together, making a run, or winning a game at this point, Jason?
Confidence is low. I mean, you're watching a team that has absolutely struggled for the last several weeks, and you heard Sirianni say he's referencing the decision from a coaching standpoint to go with Matt Patricia calling the defense versus Sean Desai, who was doing it all season long. And I said it then at that point, Matt Patricia being asked to run a defense that he didn't install, that he hasn't been a part of for a long time, was kind of a desperation move because they had to find something to get going on defense. So the thought that Patricia was just going to come in and right away at the snap of her fingers, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to become this different defense is not happening. And as far as A.J. Brown, I heard him after the game, you get to a point in the season where for them what the last few weeks have been, there are no more words to say. You can stand up after a game and say whatever the hell you want to say until you show up on the football field and execute at a high level and be able to win consistently what they've become accustomed to after last season. It doesn't matter. And I think that was the feelings he had as a player leaving the locker room. You get tired of saying the same thing over and over again to the media, and he chose not to say anything.
What alarms me about the Eagles is not that they're coming into the playoffs with a whimper, and not that they're... Cardinals dominated them. Like, the Cardinals had the ball for 40 minutes on Sunday. At no point in that game did you feel like the Eagles were somehow going to lose this game because some fluke thing, and oh my gosh, like this happens once in a... The Cardinals outplayed them for 60 minutes. The Cardinals were there every single time. They came back. Kyler was awesome. They had their way. James Conner actually was probably the MVP of this game and had the biggest play at the end. But it also seemed like the Cardinals, who are set to have the number 3 pick in the draft right now, had their way with the Eagles. So to me, it's doing confidence level. Well, the 3rd worst team in the NFL came into your building in December, actually January, because it was December 31st, whatever it was, and just absolutely walked and ran all over you. So yeah, confidence is low, but also if it's a whimper in the playoffs and they lose to Tampa, I don't think anyone's going to be shocked.
To your point, it's the defense. And what the Cardinals did in this game, they didn't punt once. They did not punt against the Eagles on the road. That is the first time in the modern era that this team has done that. Kurt Warner never did it. Carson Palmer never did it on those Cardinals teams, but this Kyler Murray team did it. They had 32 first downs against this Eagles defense, one shy of their franchise record, remembering that the Cardinals have been around as a franchise since 1898. McKinley was president. And things ended for McKinley how they're going to end for the Eagles in the playoffs if they show up like that. Pop! It was a brutal ending. They can't get off the field on 3rd down if you watch the team. It's such a demoralizing thing as a fan. You're there, you're in the link, it's 3rd down! And then Kyler Murray does something and they move the chains. It's like, oh my gosh, over and over. They don't rush the passer well, they don't go off the field well. The offense is fine, although I don't really like where things are headed with A.J. Brown right now. It seems like there's all kinds of issues there. It's not great. The body language sucks. The coach looks defeated. Yeah. They need a huge defibrillator paddle on him now, 2 of them.
The headline in the Philadelphia Inquirer is there is a locker room crisis going on. Like, anytime you're still in the regular season, you've made the playoffs, and you're still using the phrase locker room crisis is not good as it pertains to A.J. Brown. Do you care that he's not talking?
You're losing. Like, when people say locker room crisis, like all of a sudden, like A.J. Brown hates all his teammates. Like, no, as competitors, you want to win the game. And I think to your point, it's bigger than locker room personalities. They just don't look good. You're not playing good football, and that to me is the biggest thing. If you win games and you're playing good football, all the rest of that things. We watched A.J. Brown go off on the sideline early in the season. Started winning games and throwing the ball, and everything was okay.